This is how I zinc plate parts at home in my shed and get results that look like this. First, make sure your plating tank is at temperature between 25 and 30 degrees Celsius. Second, take your anodes, make sure that they're evenly spaced and clean before putting them in. I clean them in vinegar before putting them in. Then just lower them into the tank and secure them on the supports. You've got to electrically connect the two anode bars together. So I use this alligator clip and clip them both to the back here. Then take your power supply and connect the positive lead to those anode bars. Then you just get the parts that you're plating. For me, it's this basket full of nuts and bolts, and then put them onto the negative bar. If you're doing conventional parts, you usually just hang the parts down off this bar with wire. Then connect the negative lead to the parts and lower them into the tank. Now with your parts in the bar, you want to turn up the current on your power supply. Now this one takes a little bit of getting used to because they say that the rule of thumb is about 1 amp per 160 square millimeters of surface area, so it takes some getting used to. Avoid the temptation to turn the current up too high. When I first started, I think I was going too high on the current. The surface finish was dull, sometimes it was bubbly, sometimes it was too thick and it would actually flake off. Now, I found if you run lower currents, it takes a little bit longer, but your finish is always a lot better. And now it's just a waiting game. I find about 45 minutes of plating time is about right. If you've got a basket for your nuts and washers like me, I just come in and shake them every 5 minutes or so to move them around and get an even coverage. Be careful not to take it out of the solution at any time because when you resubmerge it, it can create layers and they can delaminate later on. Alright, it's now been 45 minutes, so I'm going to disconnect the power cable, lift it out and then shake it off as best I can. Rinse it, and then you soak it for 30 seconds in the acid bath. This just etches it and gets it ready for the passivate coating. Remove it from the acid, shake it off. Quick dunk to rinse, and then soak it in the passivate. So I leave it in the passivate for about 45 seconds. The longer you leave it, the darker the colour. And then you just give it a quick rinse off, and that looks pretty good. Then I put it in this basket. I just leave it in this basket to air dry, although some people say you should put it in an oven at about 200 degrees for about 2 hours to bake the parts and then prevent hydrogen embrittlement. But I don't think that's such a big problem in modern kits.